The 1949 Great March and Restoration Day holiday pulsates with the fervor and fervency of a historic uprising. On that momentous Thursday, the 24th of November in 1949, Theodore Faulkner, Isaac Fonseca, Carlton de Castro, and more than 1,500 impassioned Virgin Islanders ignited a flame of defiance that blazed through the streets of Roadtown. Their resolute march, culminating at the Commissioner's office, now known as the Governor's office, was a strong stance against the issues that cast shadows on the lives of the Islanders. With hearts ablaze, the demonstrators confronted the prevailing political system, then orchestrated from Antigua, presenting the Commissioner with a petition that laid bare their grievances. This audacious demonstration was the catalyst that ignited the fires of political evolution in the territory. It paved the way for the resurrection of the Legislative Council and heralded the dawn of the modern Virgin Islands. Today, we revel in the glory of democratic freedom, embodied by the House of Assembly where the bedrock of our laws and legislation takes form. We stand tall, a territory proudly steering its own destiny, bearing the responsibility for its own fate. This autonomy, this self-sufficiency, is the legacy of three brave men who, with unwavering courage and strength, embarked on the monumental journey for legislative freedom, the Great March of 1949. As we listen to the echoes of our legislators, let us immerse ourselves in their reflections on the past, a past etched with the indomitable spirit of those who dared to defy. Today, in grateful acknowledgement, we give thanks for the present, where the echoes of that historic march reverberate in the chambers of our democratic institution.
Well, I'm so proud to have been the minister that had the portfolio that were able to help to get this holiday established. As then Minister of Culture, being a part of the discussions with my cabinet colleagues for the establishment of this new holiday. And the reason why we established this holiday is because there were so many people in the Virgin Islands who were not aware of the tremendous contributions of those who went before us. We have a very unique situation in the BVI where we did not have a House of Assembly or a Parliament for a period of somewhere around close to 50 years. And we had to seek representation through the Leeward Islands Council. And that, in those times, as you can imagine, involved going on boats across the water to be able to try to get the governor or administrator or whatever the role was known for in the Leeward Islands, which was the seat of Antigua, which was the seat of government at the time, to be able to pay attention to us in the Virgin Islands. In the Virgin Islands, we have experienced a great deal of neglect over the years. And persons like Theodore Faulkner recognized it when his wife needed to get health care services. And he was so appalled at the state of the health care services and the state of the government services being offered to the people of the Virgin Islands at that time that he exercised his right, and he marched, he organized, he got people together. And that is something, it is a very powerful example of what we all should be in a society. And that's why we want to remember Theodore Faulkner. We also want to remember Gladys Fonseca. We want to remember Carlton de Castro. And the 1,500 who marched at that time when the population was under 7,000. You had 1,500 persons march when the population was under 7,000 people. Now that's what I call unity, and unity is power. And these are very powerful teaching tools that can be used to inspire us as we continue our march and our journey towards self-determination.
I am honored to celebrate this day as we celebrate our heroes Theodore Faulkner, Carlton Fax de Castro, and Isaac Glanville Fonseca. It is because of these men that I sit in the House of Assembly that I feel the level of freedom that I feel today, that I can contribute to the best of my ability to the development of this country. I admire their heroism. I celebrate their braveness as they withstood adversity. I recall today especially Mr. Dol Faulkner.
First of all, I'm happy to be in this place where, we can acknowledge those great leaders that has given us this day today. 1949 march. I've heard about this from growing up as a little boy. My grandfather, my grandparents, they took part in this march. There were 1,500 persons at the time, and this was a march sick by persons, regular persons within our community who was marching for a cause. And today, we are in this House of Assembly because they marched and they fought for us to be able to restore our legislature. And I am proud, I acknowledge them, I acknowledge this government also for making this a holiday and for us to teach the history and be able to understand what took place during that time.
So it means a lot, and it really speaks to the reality of what it means to be a Virgin Islander. And these events spoke to the definition of resilience, unity, and the ultimate reality of us wanting to seek to better ourselves and our futures. The reality is that I would not be here today as a representative had it not been for those events. And so today I stand on the shoulders of those visionaries who saw a path forward, one that would speak to self-determination and us realizing our goals as Virgin Islanders. Particularly, I stand on the shoulder of Carlton de Castro as a descendant, and I'm humbled to sit in the seat at the House of Assembly and ultimately seek to better the lives of the people of these Virgin Islands.
1949 March brings back so much memories because it represents so much for the BVI. But first and foremost, that the leader, the main instigator, was from Anegada, one of the sister islands, who came to Tortola, and based on the conditions of health services on Anegada, he started to make some complaints to the then commissioner. But outside of who instigated the march, what it means to the people of the BVI is that we have more say in our development. Before 1959, we didn't have a legislature. We were administered by St. Kitts for a period and Antigua for a period. I mean, whatever we wanted to do was left up to somebody else to do. Once we restore our House of Assembly, it means that we are now on the path to self-determination. We were the ones deciding for ourselves where we want to go. And if you look at the first of legislation that was passed in that first house, it starts on the part of landholders' licenses, hotel aid, and all those various things came into play precisely at that time. So it changed the whole trajectory of the BVI as a territory in where we were and where we were heading. So I must thank those early guys, the Bruce, the Faulkner, the Carlton, the Castro, and all those guys who were bold enough to step forward and say, we want better for our people, and we're going to stand up and be counted in this great march ahead of us. And because of them, a person like myself today can sit in the House of Assembly. I owe everything to their courage and determination in making this happen. I urge everyone to educate yourself on the circumstances surrounding why that march took place and the significance of it in our future.
The fact that I am a first-time member of the House of Assembly, that I'm so appreciative of the Great March of 1949 that resulted in the restoration of our Legislative Council. Representation is so key in the governance structure, and to know that we had lost that opportunity to have persons whom we elect have the voice as far as our affairs was concerned was certainly one of the concerning things as we look back over history. When I consider the 1949 march, though, the thing that strikes me the most is the participation, that 21% of the population, 1,500 out of 7,000 at a time, participated in the Great March. And when I consider the modes and means of communication at the time, where there was no radios to talk about, Some of the features that we have available to us were not available, but yet still the word got around and people gathered to take part in that march, which proved to be so impactful. So it brings around a message to me that in our day and age, that we have a great opportunity as far as input in governance is concerned, because governance is how the country goes about making its decisions. And we have opportunities as citizens today. We have so much social media, we have the radio, we have television, and I really encourage persons that you didn't have to go out and march. Persons already did that, but the opportunity because of them is there for you to have a chance to make your voice heard in matters in the Virgin Islands related to the future of the territory. So as we celebrate Great March Day, I will encourage you to not only let this opportunity to pass you by, but as matters come up before us in this day, take part, listen, be informed, and let your voice be heard. Some have suffered in order that we have this opportunity today.
As I reflect on our people and the fact that they were disgruntled and they took to the streets to let the commissioner know that they were disgruntled. So 1,500 of our people back then, and that should have been a very high and significant number because of the small population of our territory at the size, was significant to make a difference when they let the commissioner know that they were not happy with the issues that negatively affected them as a people of the territory. And then as a result of that March of 1949, we saw the restoration of our legislature, our local legislature, in the next year, 1950. Now this, in 1950, allowed for us to start to build our country on our own, because we then had the power and we had the leadership to lead our country to today. And as a result of that happening, I am here today as a representative because of the stance that they took in 1949. So I am forever grateful to our people of the past, our foreparents, our forefathers, our foremothers, for taking the stance that they did in 1949 in marching down Road Town, my district, to let the commissioner know that they were not happy. And as a result, we are leading our country today as legislators. Happy March of 1949 Day to everyone. Let us never forget this occasion.